Hello, so this is the kilometer fuel and trip log spreadsheet. So as you can see here, everything is nice and blank. This will help you to keep track of your kilometers for IFTA and Prorate, as well as fuel. And both things are something that you need to keep track of. And everything, as I'll show you, it keeps track and it calculates everything for you, so you don't have to add, subtract, or do anything of the sort. You just enter in your odometer, and then your kilometers and your date and all that stuff, and everything will be done for you. It does matter quite a bit. Make sure everything is accurate when you do enter it in. Then everything should be fine. The nice thing is, I'll share this with you, and that means that I will also be able to see. Right, so if you ever have an issue with it, I'll be able to see it and then help you out as needed. To use this, what you need is Google Sheets. If you have an Android phone, you most likely already have it. If you have an Apple phone, like I do, just download it. And if you don't have it on your Android phone, just download it as well. It's really good. Like I have an Apple phone and I use it for everything. I have a MacBook computer and I use Google Sheets for everything as well. It's really good, so you will need that. I can send you a link if needed, just let me know. But anyways, as you can see down here, there's kilometers driven, fuel, trip log, and data. So data is everything. You can see there's a lock. That means that no one can change anything here. All the data will be input here. And as you can see, IFTA kilometers, IFTA liters, and then total monthly kilometers and total liters purchased. It's all in here. Here's one IFTA period, second IFTA period, third IFTA period, and final IFTA period, and then IFTA liters, and then also totals and anything like that. That's stuff you don't need to worry about. You just need to worry about entering in all this information here. So essentially is when you start, here's how it goes. You enter the date of when you're entering it in. So let's say Monday morning on the April 20th, you start. The calendar should pop up. If it doesn't, every phone is a little bit different on how this looks, but most have all this down here. And then anyways, that's the format. So if you don't have a calendar that pops up, you just need to enter it in the format like that: year, month, day, and with the dashes in between. So let's say you do that, and then your odometer reads 1,000. And then which province did you start in, right? So I have all the ones that Levita operates in. Then you just go Alberta. And then so then that same day, let's say you drive to Saskatchewan, and then what you want to do is as soon as you reach Saskatchewan, you look at your odometer. As soon as you hit the border, you look at the odometer, and then it's whenever you enter a new province, that's what you want the odometer. Let's say 1,200, you drive to Saskatchewan. As soon as you enter Saskatchewan, your odometer reads 1,200. That's when you enter Saskatchewan. Then you will put Saskatchewan here. So as you can see, it calculated this here automatically. So that the reason is because you started at 1,000, and then when you hit Saskatchewan was 200 kilometers since then, so added it there. And then now with the date, as you can see, April 1st to June 30th, and then there's 200 there, right? So it adds it all together for you. And then if you look at on the data sheet, it'll be here as well. That 200 is 200's there, and then here's the IFTA kilometers, 200's there. None of this other stuff, right? So it keeps track of everything. It organizes it as well. I'll just keep on showing. Let's say you drive in Saskatchewan for a bit, and then here comes next Tuesday. You've driven, let's say, another, and then when you go back into Alberta, right? Let's say you drove in Saskatchewan for quite a bit. You come back and you go to Alberta to drop a load off in Picture Butte or wherever, and you look at your odometer. As soon as you hit Alberta, you write the odometer 1,000, let's say 2,200, and you hit Alberta, right? So as you can see, you drove 1,000 kilometers, right? 2,200 minus 1,200, right? The difference between that is 1,000. And then it'll just do that. And then again, as you can see, it added the Saskatchewan here, and then the Alberta, Manitoba. And let's say you go into Saskatchewan again, you unload, then you pick up in Alberta, you're dropping it off in Saskatchewan, right? So you drive, you hit Saskatchewan border, and then look at your odometer, 2,500, hit Saskatchewan, right? That difference, 2,200 plus 300, right? It goes there. That's how much you drove in Alberta. and then let's say you go to Manitoba, and then 3,000, you read your odometer, reads 3,000, right? And then it'll add it there. And then let's say you come back the exact same day, 3,200, and you go back into Saskatchewan, you just went in a little bit to Manitoba, and then right, it adds it all up. And as you can see here, it's all separated and all added up. So that's essentially just how this sheet works. I'm going to be sending, you should have a copy in I'll send it via email. As soon as you click the email, it will, you'll just click open in Sheets, and then it'll open it up for you. If you need any help using it, this is how it works. The fuel is quite simple as well. This is much simpler. You just put the date of when you fueled up, what your odometer was when you fueled up, how many liters purchased, and which province you purchased it in, and then city or town that you were at, and then it'll just add it all up for you. Easy stuff. And then trip log. You're supposed to keep track of your trips and and like kind of how much kilometers you drove for each one. You may use your own system. This is not something that I need myself. I just need total kilometers for months and then the year. And then anyways, what you can do is you just put start date, right? Trip one, so 2 lines for one trip. You started it on which day, you ended it which day, odometer, and then what your odometer when you started, what your odometer when you ended it, right? Let's say you started at 1,000, you ended it at 2,000, and then it adds it automatically for you, where you picked up, where you dropped off, and then the bill of lading number from Levita. You may use this if you would like, but you also can keep track of your own way. I know a lot of guys, they use the bill of ladings themselves, right? Then you know exactly where you picked up, where you dropped off. There's 4 different copies for each set of bill of ladings. There's the white one, pink, yellow, and there's one more, blue. But anyways, one of those is yours, and then you just can keep track on that as well if you prefer. But so the main things for me that I need for sure is the kilometers driven and the fuel. And then if you just do this, I'll always kind of go through it and double check, make sure everything is correct. And or just I can't, like, obviously if your odometer, right, if you don't write the correct odometer, I won't be able to check if that's correct. But I'll go in and make sure all the numbers, all the formatting, and that stuff is good, right? So if all of a sudden, let's say you put the wrong number in and it says you drove minus 500 kilometers, then I'll go in and kind of fix that for you, or I'll ask you about it and whatnot. And then you just kind of do this. Always keep track of how much you drive in each province. And if you just do it this way, as soon as you enter a province, keep track of what your kilometer odometer read, and then you put that in here, and the rest will be done for you. Most guys, like how guys have to do it otherwise, is just on paper, you write your odometer, and then you have to add it and add it together, and then figure that out. That's an option as well if you prefer that, if you're not comfortable with the phone, but this is a much easier method of doing it. And then at the end of the 3 months or the year-long period for Prorate, I just look at this, right? I have access to what you have, so then I don't even need you to send me anything. I have it all right here. So that's the really nice thing about it, is it's all just right here, and you don't even have to hear about it. I won't even have to ask you about IFTA and Prorate unless there's obviously a mistake, but it'll be as simple as possible. You don't have to submit any paperwork. It's all just right here, and simple as that. If you have any questions, let me know, and we'll go from there.